if you're here for the first time, thanks so much for joining me. And if you've been here before, today I have a really good recipe. We're making Swedish meatballs. They're really good, so let's get started. So the meatball calls for equal parts pork and beef, 2 eggs, breadcrumbs, and a yellow onion. And for our sauce, we're going to be using a beef broth and some sour cream. Now we want to go ahead and get started by dicing our yellow onion. That way we can go ahead and incorporate all of our ingredients. We want to bring together our pork, our beef, our onion, our 2 eggs, and some breadcrumbs, and just incorporate all of those ingredients the best we can so that everything is evenly combined and we'll get a great finished meatball. Did I mention that we have to get our hands dirty here? The best way to get all of those ingredients together for me when making a meatball is just getting your hands dirty. So you see how I'm just tugging and compressing and just getting all of those cracks and crevices within the meat. That's what we want so that all of those flavors come through in our final product. Once everything is incorporated, we want to go ahead and get them scooped onto a sheet pan and just get them prepped so that we can go ahead and put them on the stove, give them a nice sear before we finish them off in the oven. So moving right along, you guys, once our skillet is nice and hot on a medium temperature, you want to go ahead and start adding your meatballs. So again, all we're really wanting to do is just create a nice crispy outer layer of our meatball, so that the inside will be nice and juicy. And you want to flip them occasionally, again, just to make sure that the outer layer of our meatball has a nice even crust and that nice brown golden color that we want. See some nice color coming along, starting to look amazing. This is exactly what we want, you guys. So then once your meatball in its entirety has brown, has a nice crisp, has a nice color around it, go ahead and place them on a baking sheet. And once all of our meatballs are all brown, we want to add them to a 400-degree oven. Once our meatballs are finishing up in the oven, we want to go ahead and start our sauce. So we're going to start by creating a roux, melting some butter, and then adding in some flour. We're going to go ahead and mix our roux together, get it nice and thick, and then we're going to go ahead and add a half a cup of sour cream, and then 2 cups of beef broth. And you can add a little more, a little less of the beef broth, whatever you want your textural preference to be. But this is the consistency that we're looking for. Nice and creamy. The color of the sauce is just gorgeous. It's going to pair perfect with our meatballs. So our meatballs are done. They look great. We have that crispy outer layer, which we wanted. And now we're going to go ahead and add them to our finished sauce. So now that we're starting to add our meatballs, all this is doing, our meatballs are going to start soaking up some of the creaminess from our sauce, which is what we want. We want all that flavor in every bite that we get. How mouth-watering does this look, you guys? Looks amazing. If you guys could only smell it, smells amazing. The textures, everything that we wanted to come through on this dish is definitely coming through. Okay, so here's the fun part. We get to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste it, dig right on in here, and we're going to talk about how the meatball came out. Automatically, already, it's just so juicy. The pork and the beef together give off such just amazing juices. And I just topped it over some egg noodle, so I'm just gonna try and create the perfect bite here. You guys, y'all gotta try it. It came out really good. The noodle, the crispiness of the crust around the meatball, and the meatball itself is just juicy. And of course the sauce is amazing, it's so creamy. You guys gotta try it. I know if you make it, it'll come out just as good. Okay guys, thanks so much for tuning in for this Swedish meatball recipe. Please follow me on social media at Goodness Chef D, and I'll see you next week for more goodness recipes.